Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the What's Up ESE podcast. Today we have a very special episode, and it's also our last episode of the spring semester.
Yeah, like Claudia was saying, we have two very special guests on our podcast today. Some of the two most important people in our office.
And in our lives.
And in our lives, yes. We have Yesenia here.
Yay!
And we also have Lupe here. Yes. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what you guys do in the office? What's your guys' roles?
Sure. So my name is Yesenia, obviously. I'm the Assistant Director for Student Programming and Engagement. And so I work within the entering student experience and pretty much running like most programming opportunities for students. And so that includes things like the Peer Leader office. It also includes programs that are tied into the UNIV 1301 class, like the Survivor Series, and then also just kind of helping and supporting the developmental math and developmental English departments in programs that they offer whenever they need me. So, yeah.
Yay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Lupe?
Yes. Okay. I'm Lupe. I am I don't know. They've changed my title several times. So right now I'm admin specialist too. So I pretty much run the office. I take care of, all the office needs, supplies, whatever. I take care of the payroll, I don't take care of payroll. I submit payroll stuff. I make sure you guys, the peer leaders, Yesenia, have the supplies you guys need for everything, snacks, whatever. So it's pretty much just running the office, making sure things are okay, running smoothly. Little problems that come up, we try to head them before they get big. And I work with Dr. Lujan and Alex at the office, the director and associate director. So we just try to keep the office rolling along as smoothly as we can.
Awesome. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your background, like your educational background, how you guys ended up here at UTEP?
So my educational background, I'm originally from Colorado, so I went to Colorado State University back in 2008 and got my bachelor's of science in animal science because the goal was originally to become a vet. Definitely not using that degree. But after I got my bachelor's, I ended up working in higher education for a small community college in Kansas, where I worked in admissions and recruiting, and then just kind of stayed in higher ed after that because of how much I loved working with students. And so I got my master's in higher education administration and leadership in 2016, I think. Can't remember at this point. And so, yeah, that's kind of how my educational background. I ended up in El Paso because things just kind of started getting really expensive in Colorado. And so my family moved to the area, like to the El Paso Juarez area, a couple of years before I did. And so just kind of thought, it's kind of time to be around family again. And so ended up moving here in 2017, 18, and have been here since. So, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. That's not even that long.
You thought she was an El Paso native?
Yes.
I blend in well.
You blend. Yeah.
So what's been your I guess, highlight of El Paso, your favorite thing of El Paso since you've been here?
Oh, gosh. I absolutely love, the culture. So, like I said, I grew up in Colorado, and so in Colorado you have, pockets of diversity, but it's not, everywhere. And so there are very much instances where you feel kind of like an outsider, even in your own home. And so in El Paso, being a Latina, Latinos are everywhere. And so it just, you feel like you're at home all the time. And I love it.
Super cool. Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good job.
What about you, Lupe?
Okay, so I got my bachelor's in counseling, and I used that for a little bit. I used to do work at one of the drug rehab places here in El Paso, and then life goes on. I had my kids, and then life changed, so I went ahead and went for my master's, and that was in human services. And once I got my master's, I was working at this other company, and I was working as a human resource director, dealing with mechanics who fix airplanes for a government contract.
Dang.
Mechanics are big divas. It was a lot of work. So I worked there for 10 years, and then they were going to cut back because the contract was almost over, so they started cutting back. And they wanted me to travel, but my kids were little, and I said nope. So they gave me a severance package, and I left. And so for 8 months, I didn't have a job, and I was panicking. And then I applied everywhere at UTEP. Everywhere, every office, everything that opened, and I finally got the job with developmental math and English, and just started working there. And then little by little, pandemic came, unfortunately, and at that point, we had the new president of UTEP, and she wanted our different departments to come together. That was a challenge, and that's when Yesenia came along, and she was completely lost, because she's like, what is happening? Because she was hired to come with UTEP Prep and take care of that. But then this huge change came, and we were all freaking out because we didn't know what we were doing. Finally, everything got worked out and stuff, and then they moved us over to this building, the UGLC, which even caused more chaos, but it's all worked. So here we are.
Nice.
Are you originally from El Paso?
Yes, I'm born and raised here.
That's awesome.
I do love my city. It's cool, I like it, it's calm, it's kind of serene sometimes. I do like to travel though, so we do go out of town as much as we can, because I love my home, but I also like to see other
What's
places.
been your favorite place to travel to?
I don't know, I've traveled to different places. I have been to South Korea several times with the other department, the other office I worked with, the other company, so that was fun.
That is so
That
cool.
sounds fun.
I really enjoyed going over there. I went over there like 5 times, I think, and so that was fun. And I've been there. I've been to different parts of the U.S. I went to Colombia once because we had a site there as well, but that one was not, I didn't like that one. So we came back. So anyway, that's pretty much it.
I love it. And how would you compare your previous positions to now working so closely with students?
You know, when I first got here, I had a work study. Her name's Yvonne, and she was running the office because the one lady that was there had already moved to be an advisor. So I was used to dealing with men and their egos, okay? And so when I got here, it was really trippy because now I'm dealing with kids. And I didn't understand them. It was different. It was different. And so my work study, God bless her, I love her, we're still friends. She's the one that told me, okay, we gotta talk. You gotta learn how to deal with students. And I'm like, okay. So because of her, I learned how to deal with students, how to talk to students, how to engage with them, because I was so used to dealing with men and their ridiculousness. I didn't understand students. I mean, I had my kids, but they're little. So these are teenagers and, growing up and everything. So that was difficult, Trent. That was really difficult for me. It took me a couple of years. And Dr. Lujan was like, how you doing? I'm like, is it getting better? So that was trippy. I loved it. But it was a really difficult transition, to be honest. Just the fact of students with, the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it.
That's
really
awesome.
funny.
How did you guys become like close? Because I feel like you guys are pretty close within the office. You guys get along well. So how did that happen?
So before we were in the UGLC, we were over in the education building, and our office was pretty small, I would say. Not me hitting the microphone. And so Lupe and I kind of started working together because she would help me with UTEP Prep. So UTEP Prep was also another program that I originally was brought on to kind of run, but has since sunsetted and transitioned into what we know now as ESE Academy. Lupe and I really kind of worked together on just kind of getting me settled into the department. And then she was probably the person I would go to when I had questions or needed something. And she was like, oh yeah, you just need to do this and this and this. And I'm like, Lupe, you know everything.
Oh, I love it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we just, we just meshed. We do have our conflicts and we do have our little thingies. I mean, we're human, and and we're both we're both strong women, and we have our own ideas and stuff. But you got to overcome stuff like that, and that's a huge deal. And Yesenia was very calm and not knowing what to do at the time, but now she's on it.
Yes, you guys are the
Doing
best.
great, yeah.
No, yeah. Thanks. So you guys have been through like a lot together now
Yeah.
knowing. And we want to get a little bit into that with our first segment called Before and After. So this past year, our peer leader program has gone through a lot of different changes. So we want to see, or we want to know your guys' perspective and how your guys' experience was throughout all the changes.
It was definitely kind of like a shock with everything that like happened in the last year, right? And so I kind of went from primarily running programs to now being in charge of like peer leaders, right? And I had, before the transition happened, like I hadn't really worked with the peer leaders at all. Like I didn't really know, like learning names was a thing for me. Even though I had been with the department, I didn't really work with the peer leaders. And so I think that the change that I've noticed within the office is just how much more community-based it feels. Like it feels like, you know, we're in the office, we're working together, and I really appreciate that, right? And so for me, it was hard because like we came together and kind of brought like a group of people, like staff and faculty together to kind of figure out like what direction to take the program in, and I absolutely could not have done it without like the support of like the staff and faculty that helped, right? And so we worked, I remember working last spring and probably through the summer, like from 8 in the morning to like I was leaving the office like at 9:30
Oh my
at night,
goodness.
just kind of trying to figure out like what is it that the peer leaders do, and how can I support you all in doing that, right? And so it was definitely a lot of work. There was definitely a lot of stress and a lot of like even me experiencing like imposter syndrome, right? Like do I have like what it takes to support these students in the way that I want to, and in a significant way to help you all grow in your positions too. And so I remember telling like Ray a couple of times, like I had a dream last night that I just couldn't do it and I was failing them, and but you know eventually it all kind of came together, and hopefully you all think that you know it's a good experience for you all and it helps you grow professionally, and that's been the goal all along.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it does, because even when I came in, I was like, this is like such a hidden gem of a job. Like, why doesn't everyone apply to do this? And then they would tell me about how the program was like previously, and I couldn't, like, even still sometimes I can't comprehend it or think about it just because of the place it's in right now. It's so great, but that makes so much sense.
And it's because things move like so quickly. Like honestly, you guys did things like such efficiently, I think.
Yeah.
When we went to the conference, like we were presenting on the thing and someone asked you a question and they're like, this has just been a year. Like you started a year ago. Like how did you guys get to this point?
Yeah,
like within just a year, which is insane to me, you know? And I mean, having been in kind of both sides of it, like I completely agree, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely been a huge change, you know, and it was like little things that you guys did, simply just like having music in the office or allowing music in the office. Now we got a TV in the office.
Which we use for professional reasons.
Yes.
Yes, we do. We do, yes. Presentations, yes.
Yeah. And that's so true. That is a lot to deal with, because I feel like if you're a student in a class, you don't know that there's almost 40 peer leaders. Like it's a big
41.
office. Yeah,
41.
there you go, 41. Like I feel like you don't even realize that. So to take on that position, and I feel like you know everyone so personally as well. Like you make those connections, and it shows, and we appreciate it.
Oh.
Yes. And what about you, Lupe? What's your perspective on like the before?
kind
and
of being
You know, this
everywhere.
is really nice. I never had any interaction with any peer leaders. Right, Jorge? I never had any interaction with the peer leaders because, again, we were at education and you guys, when the peer leaders were at UGLC. I never did. So you guys were just an entity that, you know, we were supporting, but I didn't know what. And we really didn't understand what the peer leader jobs were. We didn't, I'm going to be honest. When everything changed, I started going, you know, I was really like, scared for Yesenia, because I'm just like, oh my God, that's a lot of kids and things and personalities. And so, you know, with Dr. Lujan and all of us, you know, everybody trying to figure out what to do. And then I just had to work on the budget part and trying to get people together and stuff like that. Yesenia had to really figure you guys out, you know. So then I started just saying, okay, well, I got to get to know these kids, right? And we needed the office to be available for all of you. We needed you guys to feel like you could come in and you could talk to us and you could roam around, you know, you weren't restricted to just that room.
Yeah.
So that's why I would go in and I would talk to you and be weird and and all that stuff. And you know, we needed that. We had to let you guys feel comfortable in the whole building, not just, like I said, that room. So that was a transition that was hard for me because, again, I had to kind of go, okay, am I friendly with them, or do I just act like I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? So, you know, once Yesenia set the foundation, I kind of just followed her lead, and I knew how to then interact with you guys, and which has been fantastic. I love it because I didn't have that before. I think it was 5 or 6 years before we moved over and all that stuff. So it's been really cool. I really enjoy knowing all of you and meeting you and seeing all of you, how you mesh together, how you get along, and it's been really nice. I love it. I love the whole change of everything that's happened in there. You guys blossomed. Huge. Big time. You guys really, really blossomed. God bless you and congratulations.
And I think it's because the majority of appealers are like extroverted social people, you know? So you guys literally created an environment where we can thrive, you know, socially. And I think that's one of the big things for me, you know? Like
That's really
enjoying, you know, and even having interaction with some of our faculty, some of our staff. Like is I think it's a game changer, you know?
Yeah, and that was really the goal, right? Like the goal was to make the position something that you would grow from in a meaningful way. And so with having like 41 of you all, like that's 41 different ways, right? Because everyone has different things that they're interested in exploring and learning in, and different skills that they need. And so I definitely weaponized y'all's relationship with the faculty, because I couldn't have done it without like Ray and Steven, and how like I really kind of mirrored the relationships that they had with the peer leaders. Because I was like, that's the type of relationship that they should have with all staff, right? Because, you know, you should be able to look at us and say, that's someone that I can go to for help, or that's someone that I can ask a question to. And so kudos to the UNIV faculty.
Shout out to
for their relationship with y'all.
Yes.
How was, or go for it.
And just one thing I just want to say is, you know, and we all have to appreciate Dr. Lujan for doing this, because, you know, like I said, we were all lost. We really weren't sure what to do, but because of her open door policy and the fact that she, you know, hit the ground running the minute things were happening and stuff, and said, no, we're taking care of our students, because this was like her number one thing. It was important to her. And without her leadership and opening that, I don't think we would have been able to find the footing, you know? So yeah, we gotta give her some shout out.
Shout out.
Absolutely, she's awesome.
I remember even like when the whole transition thing happened, like she made it like a point to meet with every single one of the peer leaders.
Yes.
And it wasn't so much of a like type of PR thing, you know, trying to cover the department. It was literally just hearing us out, you know?
Exactly.
She wasn't there to like give a solution, but for us to like, you know, literally just vent to her at some point, you know?
Yes.
On like certain things and stuff, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, that is so true. I feel like I don't know a faculty member in the office that you wouldn't be able to just go up to and talk to about your day. Like, I feel like that's one of the most special parts of the job too, is even just like being able to walk into your office and just, you know, talk about how things are going.
Yesterday, me and Gillette, we were just in the office, and then we were like, let's go say hi to Ray and Yesenia. We were like, yeah, dude, we were just there for like half an hour, bro. I was about to take a nap, like in Yesenia's office.
Those chairs
like,
are so
dude,
They really are. Or Jen and I going looking for you two, because we had a question, and then like Ray was there, and then we get there, and then we're like, wait, what do we
Why are we here?
And then Lupe comes in, and they're talking about Marvel and stuff. But it's fun. Like, it makes it so enjoyable, and you guys give us that space to just be comfortable, and we really appreciate it.
And I appreciate you guys, because, you know, like I said, that other job I had was just high intense, dealing with stuff, and this is a better job. Because, you know, just seeing you guys and hearing you laugh and hearing the music, and when you guys come and talk to me, and I mean, it's really helped me a lot. I believe that I've changed in certain ways of thinking, because I just dealt with men and their attitudes, and you know, you guys just you really opened a lot of doors and made me feel really good. And I was like, oh, thank God, there's good people in the world, you know?
Oh, I love that.
appreciate that.
That's really
Yeah.
special. But yes, just thank you guys for
Yeah,
like
for
everything
real.
that you've done so far, because it's been so amazing. Like I went, especially being able to see it from both perspectives. Like Alexis had the before and the after, and then I've been able to come in without knowing any of that, and you would have never known how the program was before. So that's beautiful and it's awesome. And I think that we should talk about next, like your guys' vision for the program. So we're gonna do a segment called What's Next ESE, and then if you guys want to talk about maybe any future plans that you have, or just ideas or kind of pathways that you want to take the program or department down.
Yeah, so I think that for now, the goal is to continue kind of setting like this strong foundation of like department culture for us. I really wish I would see a lot more ideas from peer leaders on like things that projects that they want to take on, ideas that they want to bring to campus, that really kind of connect like their passion areas with the job, right? Because that's what the goal is to have you all like connect what you're doing in your job to like your future plans, like the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So more creative ideas for just student development and whatever that looks like. I think it's gonna take us a little bit more to get there, because I do think that there's like a certain level of trust that I need to continue to gain from peer leaders, and saying like, yes, just whatever idea you have, let's do it, right? I don't know that everyone in the office is fully there yet. And so just, again, continuing to build that community of trust, and just encouraging peer leaders to think critically about like, what do you really want to be doing? And how can we bring that to not only your position as a peer leader, but how can we expand that into like providing those services for other students on campus too? So.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that's very true.
And, you know, since Yesenia is the one that works with you guys more closely, but I do see the same thing. Sometimes I see when everybody's chatting on the teams, and I see what you guys are coming up with. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys come up with some really cool stuff, and I like that whoever the team leader is for whatever the event is takes charge. That's perfect. That's awesome. And that's what I'd like to see. I like to see you guys actually, you know, being the owner of whatever it is that you started doing, that event and that project or whatever. And like Yesenia, I would also like to see you guys actually, you know, if your major is nursing, I would like you to, you know, what can you do to, you know, what can you bring to the group that can lead you in that path, and like maybe introduce nursing to the rest of the group that maybe they don't even know what they want to do yet, you know, so. That it's kind of that's Yesenia, that's the path I'm following her on, you know, so yeah, you guys have been doing amazing. I like that you guys own your events and know what you're doing and get it together. Yes, sometimes we forget the tables. But
There's some hiccups.
there are some hiccups, there always will be. But yeah, I follow Yesenia on that one.
awesome.
Yeah, just building this program to be almost self-sufficient.
Yeah.
I love that.
Have you guys had like any like crazy ideas or dreams that you're like, maybe it's not possible yet, you know, but soon, you know? Have you guys ever had things like that?
So not particularly with like the peer leader program, but so Dr. Lujan likes to think big
Yes.
in her programming. And so at one point I remember we talked about doing like a UNIV 2000 section that was a study abroad opportunity.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I think would be really cool. Maybe in a couple of years, once we get there, we can kind of pursue that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that I really kind of stand behind, is that travel is like big. It's big to like just development in general, right? For students, for adults, for whoever. Like if you can travel, if you can go out and see the world, it's going to make a difference in the way that you perceive the world and in the way that you kind of function in the world too, right? And so that was probably like the biggest idea that kind of like stressed me out a little, because Dr. Lujan is also like,
Even just thinking about it.
Where are we gonna go?
What are the
Yeah.
logistics for this?
Yeah.
Dr. Lujan is very much like the idea giver, and I'm like,
Let's put it
But how
together.
do okay, what do I need to do to get all of this put
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably the craziest one that I've.
Dang,
Not
that would be
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, that
Imagine
was
you and I be in Rome.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Right?
Identity through the Roman Empire.
Really. That is so crazy.
Dude.
Yeah, I heard when she was talking to Yesenia about that, and I'm like, oh my God. You know, so, yeah, but she does. She has got some seriously big dreams, and she wants to show everybody that we have a great program, and she wants to make sure that the campus sees it and the higher ups see it, that you can help students and you can bring it together and you can, do all these amazing things. That would be the most awesome thing ever,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And speaking on traveling, I think that's a great idea for you guys, because I remember the first time we got a group together for, I don't know, one of the conferences. I was not aware that students didn't know how to travel. So I just set things up. I set up the travel and everything, and the first group, I got it all together, and they're just like, what do we do? And I'm like, what do you mean? They don't understand. So they didn't know. Never have they ever been on a plane, gone to an airport.
Dude,
I'm like,
yeah.
whoa, Lupe, think about it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's easy to forget about like when we've been through it, right? Like
Yeah.
we've traveled for conferences and stuff, and so it's easy to forget that we're privileged in that way, and a lot of students are just not quite there yet, right? They just haven't had those opportunities, and so that's probably one of the reasons why we like to take students to conferences, because we kind of get to walk you through like not only the travel aspect of it, but like exploring a new city and how to
Yeah.
be safe and how to navigate networking at a professional event and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and from first-hand experience, I think that was awesome going
Yeah.
to that, And I agree, yeah, I think two of the people we went to the New Orleans trip had never been on a plane, and we were like, and then it was so funny, dude, because there was a lot of little, like, moments that were like, dang, dude, because we were, like, in the car, and then someone was like, oh my gosh, look at that Walgreens. I was like, I got one of those back at home.
Yeah, literally.
But it's just, I guess, because the design was different,
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
but yeah, I
I
think-
and I should have known that, but I was dealing, my kid was in band in high school, so I should have realized that, but then in my head, I'm like, well, you guys are in college, you should know how to travel. And of course, I was dealing with high school kids, freshmen and whatever, and so, we had to take them everywhere and stuff. I don't know how many times I was on a bus, and I never want to do that again. But anyway, yeah, so I just assumed you guys knew how to travel until, I started realizing, and then Yesenia would tell me, I don't think they've ever been on a plane before. I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to get? But I think, thankfully you went with Yesenia. You went with people that knew what to do, and she got you together, and so yeah, this
Very
was
true.
good.
Yeah,
Very
it's
true.
awesome. Hopefully there's more traveling in the ESC departments.
Oh yeah,
We just need all
That'd
that budget, all that. Keep
Get some
sending it our way.
sponsors.
Right?
Maybe Luke can get some of our old contacts from that. But that's so fun. I can't wait to see, the Peer Leader program and ESE continue to grow into those opportunities. Even as we leave, I think it's awesome to be able to see it continue to grow.
Absolutely.
That's
Oh,
super
actually,
cool.
hold on. I'll bring it up. There was someone who commented on one of the podcast videos. Did you
Really?
read it?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she commented. I don't remember her name, but she was like, I was a peer leader a couple years ago.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, and so she was like, to be able to see you guys like doing a podcast. She's like, I'm so proud of you guys. And I read it and I was like, what the heck?
We're going to have that moment one day.
Dude, yeah, I was
They're
like,
going to have like a TV show or something.
Yeah, it was so cool. I'll show you guys after this,
Dude,
but
that's so cool.
yeah, it was really cool. So it does show. It's like you're saying, like even when you leave, you want it to grow, and that
Uh-huh.
was like a prime example.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And that's awesome that we get to be a part of it. And you guys let us be
Yeah.
a part of that growth,
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super cool to hear from you guys. To kind of not end our podcast, but this last segment. This is a little bit of a fun segment. We've been kind of ending our podcast with some fun things. And today we want to end off with a Marvel quiz. Now this
Wait. I just want to state for the record that the only reason this is being done is because Ray Varela showed Yesenia Talavera all the Marvel movies recently. They went went through
Yeah.
from beginning to end all the episodes.
Wow.
So, just saying, I haven't seen the Marvel movies since they first came out. That's all I'm
We're gonna
saying.
see. We're gonna see. Yeah,
Some
'cause-
things for the viewers to consider.
yeah, because Lupe is a huge Marvel fan, to my understanding.
Okay,
I'm
so
more of a Star Wars fan, but because, Ray Varela doesn't want to watch Star Wars,
So we're doing Marvel.
we're doing Marvel.
And Yesenia, recently, up to what movie are you?
we just finished, gosh, what is it? The last Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, Quantumania.
one. Yes,
Okay.
Quantumania.
Just
See,
finished
and
Quantumania.
so I have to disclaimer this with, I'm a new, we have a veteran Marvel fan here, so.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's
and I got the idea because I think the other day you guys were talking about it in the office, and Lupe was low-key getting a little passionate about it. Like, you guys gotta watch the shows, like Daredevil, like don't watch Iron Fist. No, like that one's trash. Like all this. And I was like, dude, we should do a Marvel quiz. That'd be so fun.
So we have our
right.
beautiful Gabby keeping score over here.
Alrighty, so we'll take turns asking questions, but you guys will have the answer, and then on the count of 3, you guys will say the answer at the same time, and then Gabby will take will take score. And yeah, are you a Marvel fan? Have you watched Marvel?
I'm actually getting through them right now, so I'm like exactly halfway through
Nice.
like the timeline order. So I have Infinity War next.
Okay,
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I gotta watch.
No, yeah, I'm a Marvel fan for sure. I'm watching Thunderbolts tonight, actually.
I want to go see it.
Pull up Cinemarquis, Montana.
Okay, so are you ready?
Are you guys ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So, in Iron Man, what does Tony Stark ask for on his way to the press conference after escaping his captors? In Iron Man, what does Tony Stark ask for on his way to the press conference after escaping his captors?
Okay, go.
Alrighty, you guys got an answer?
Yes.
Alrighty, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Cheeseburger.
Oh, very
A
good.
cheeseburger.
Yeah, one
and
is
then
one.
he eats it at the press conference.
Yes, on the floor.
Nice. Hey, we're tied. We're tied. This is more of a.
I know.
This is exciting.
Okay, question 2. In Guardians, what does Peter challenge Ronan to as a distraction?
Oh, I know it.
Oh my
I know it. I know it.
Dude, this is
What
one of my
does
favorite
Peter
scenes.
challenge Ronan to as a distraction?
Are you ready?
Ready?
I have no idea.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
A
Dance
battle.
off.
Yo! That's so good.
Good job.
Dude, that's one of my favorite scenes, bro.
I know,
It's so
my husband loves that
funny.
scene. It's hilarious.
We need to have a dance battle in the office soon.
Yeah, for real. We're gonna do that on the next podcast.
For me and Claudia have a little routine. If you guys don't
Yeah,
know.
I guess actually do. You don't even know our lore, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, next question. This should be simple. How many Infinity Stones are there?
Oh.
How many Infinity Stones are there? Lupa's like, can you guys give me a challenge? Can we? Alrighty, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
5.
It's actually 6. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I was thinking, I was envisioning Thanos' arm, and I'm like,
Yeah,
right,
because it's like one per
because
finger
it's
and then the one in the middle.
I forgot. Dang it. Okay,
Hey.
we're both wrong.
Okay, but they're tied. Hey, they're still tied. Oh,
You guys are so confident.
they're like, we got this. We got
Like,
this.
yeah, we're fine. Oh, we thought that was
At least we were both wrong.
Yes.
It's funny.
Okay, next question. In Captain America, what does Cap tell Sam as he runs by him that Sam eventually says back in Endgame?
You ready? Ready?
Here you go. 3, 2, 1.
On your left.
Dang! Ray, we need to make these a little more challenging.
Start preparing the tiebreaker question.
Yeah. For real.
That is so good. Very good, very good.
Alrighty, let's see if this one breaks it.
Okay.
Which Infinity Stone is in Vision's forehead? Which Infinity Stone is in Vision's forehead? Has it right here. Shoots lasers out of it.
Yes.
I have no
It's the
idea.
last one that Thanos gets.
Yes.
I know it. I know it.
Okay, she's got it because I don't. I cannot remember.
Alrighty, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Mind Stone.
Yeah!
Yes.
Milestones.
All right, we got ourselves a game.
Okay, we're it. Oh my gosh.
Okay, next.
We're Yesenia 4, Lupe 3.
All right. It's all right.
Alright, let's
It's
see.
okay, we
Let's
got a
see.
couple more. So, who does Wanda turn into?
Oh,
Ready?
yes.
3, 2, 1.
Scarlet Witch.
Okay, yeah.
Good, very good.
Alrighty, let's see if we can, if Lupe can make a comeback on these next ones. Alrighty, what does Thanos tell Thor as he's digging Stormbreaker into his chest?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, dang, you guys are quick with it. Here you go, 3, 2, 1.
I am inevitable.
the head.
No, you should have gone for the head.
She comes back.
Dang.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, okay, we're tied. 5-5.
5 and 5.
I am inedible. That one's close. That one's close.
Another epic.
Yeah,
Another
line,
epic
yeah,
line,
for
yes,
sure.
that definitely is.
Okay. In Ant-Man 2, what does Lewis name the security business he opens?
I don't know.
No?
This one's hard. I don't know if I
In
can.
Ant-Man 2, what does Lewis name the security business that he opens?
Oh, I don't know if I know this.
You want to guess or
I
you
wouldn't
want to just
know.
forfeit?
I'm not even gonna guess because I don't remember.
Can I say like con something? It's con something.
Hey, it needs to be the whole name.
I don't. Well, and I'm not for the point, but it's con something, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it
All right, we didn't get it.
Yeah, it's ex-con home security.
Ah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
That was a hard one. I don't think I would have.
I don't even think I paid attention to that.
Alrighty, what is Wakanda's all-female army called?
Oh no.
Dude,
Thank
this one's
you.
tough too.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I
Hold
don't
on.
think I have
Google.
You
Oh, whoa.
Disqualification.
I don't have a guess for this.
No.
one.
No
I don't
guess,
either.
no guess.
No.
All right,
I can't,
it's
I can't disrespect it with a guess.
Yes, exactly.
it is the Dora Milaje.
Yeah, I
I think
would've
that's how
never
you
gotten
pronounce it. The Dora Milaje. Yeah.
What do we have? Oh, so we did,
Oh,
we did
dang.
need the tiebreaker.
Yeah, well, I think Ray wrote it in with a tiebreaker question. He expected you guys to be even.
Yes.
That's crazy. Go for it. You
Oh my
wanna?
goodness. Okay, for the tiebreaker question, name one of the ice cream flavors named after the Avengers mentioned in Endgame.
Oh, dude, this one's tough too.
Name one of the ice cream flavors named after the Avengers mentioned in Endgame.
I have no idea.
I wouldn't know either.
I no. Lupe, you don't know either.
I know it's a Hulk one, but I cannot remember the Hulk's name for the the name for the ice cream because Hulk and what's his face were arguing about mine's better. No, yours is better. But I cannot remember. I know it's one of them is for the Hulk, and I just can't remember the name of it.
Guys.
It is Stark Raving Hazelnut, and Holka Burning.
Yes,
So you were
Dang, so we're tied. Do we have an extra question? No. Okay, well, then I guess we'll leave it at that. You guys tied.
beautiful.
Yes, Avengers or Marvel vet versus
The rookie
versus the rookie.
And they tied.
And they tied. Yeah, that was good.
job, good job.
We're gonna
Very
have to
good.
run it back during the summer, during
Yeah,
one of our
we
summer things. Yeah.
I'll
We'll have
study
to
for
see.
that one.
Yeah.
Hey, next one should be Harry Potter.
Oh, that one would be good. Haven't read the books, watched the movies though.
Very good.
But thank you guys so much for being on our podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
I love this episode, and I love hearing about your guys' experience in the Peer Leader program. Anything you guys would like to end off with saying, maybe to students, to faculty, to staff, to the program?
To peer leaders.
Peer leaders, yes. So I would just like to thank you all for kind of, setting the way for creativity in the office and really kind of pursuing your passion through your position as peer leaders. To the rest of the peer leaders in the peer leader program, just know how extremely proud I am to see you all blossom, like Lupe said, to see you all grow and just kind of move towards graduation as hard as it is for us to think about you all leaving. Eventually that's the goal, right? Is to have you all graduate. But it's an absolute privilege to be able to see you all kind of in that growth throughout the years. And so thank you all. And then to students, just continue to engage, continue to use the resources that are available to you through UTEP, whether that's through the Entering Student Experience or, in the various capacities that UTEP offers resources and services, because we're here for you, so, yeah.
Yay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Definitely. And thank you guys for inviting me and inviting us. And this was fun. It was not as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be. But yes, following what Yesenia said, I look forward to everything you guys do, where you go, what you do. I look forward to hopefully still being here when maybe a few of you come back from graduating and having your jobs and then coming back and talking to the peer leaders that are there at that day and explaining to them how much you loved it and, you know, what's going on or not loved it, whichever. But, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I hope I'm around long enough to, at work, at this office, to see you guys come back and see where you've gone, where your goals have taken you. And like Yesenia said, for the students out there, you know, engage. Go out there and engage. I know there's a lot of students who are introverts. And, you know, just come on over. Come over to the chill area, 3rd floor, 308. Come on over. UGLC, and hang out, you know, and go into the peer leader room. Talk to them. They're students just like you know, so come and hang out. Come and talk to them. Come and check them out. And hopefully, you know, you'll want to be one eventually. You'll apply. So yeah, congratulations to all you peer leaders. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And to everyone graduating, it's graduation season.
Yeah. If you guys didn't see last episode, check out our tribute to our slideshow and tribute to Jorge and Santi as they graduate.
Yes, beautiful.
Yes. Thank you guys so much once again for being on here. We really appreciate you guys being here and taking the time for it.
Yes.
Thank you for everybody watching. If you guys want to know a little bit more about the Peer Leader program and what's going on, feel free to hit us up in the office. Leave a comment in our YouTube. Any questions that you guys might have, and we'll try to respond to it.
Yes.
But we will see you guys. This is actually our last episode of the semester. So we might have some podcast episodes coming in the summer, but we're actually planning some fun content outside of the studio for the summer. So we'll see you guys then. Have an amazing finals week. Because this will come out right before finals week. So have an amazing finals week. We hope you guys have an amazing rest of your guys' semester. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.